Kia ora, everyone. I'm really excited to share with you our next guest. He is Indian, born and raised in UK, a father of two wonderful kids and a lover of nature. He's been acting on and off since he was about 8. He's well-traveled and he's done a myriad of work, from designing and opening restaurants to teaching and working for banks. But above all, he is an actor and a passionate creative. We have the wonderful Mel Odedra. Hi!
Hello there, mate.
So good to see you.
No, it's good to see you. No, good to see you. I'm well, thank you.
And how I would love to know, where is your bubble at the moment and who is in your bubble?
Well, my bubble consists at the moment of my kids, myself, 3 dogs, a cow, 2 sheep, various cats and birds. So Auckland Zoo.
That is such a fun little bubble to have. So it's a big bubble. It's a very big bubble.
It is a big one, yeah.
How many acres are we talking?
Only small, 3.5 acres. So we're quite lucky up north, just north of Auckland. So yeah, 3.5 acres of fields and bush, man. It's quite a privilege at the moment.
I want to know where you're currently living in isolation at the moment, and art is not really a thing that we can do physically or share in the same space, human to human, with the current lockdown. So I want to know, who were you when your creative practice is on pause?
Now that's an interesting one. So yeah, like I say, we're up north, so surrounded by trees, bush, hills, land. So we're quite a privileged place where we've got a lot of space here. It also means that I'm quite well prepared for isolation, mate, because it's in the middle of nowhere. So this is my ideal time at the moment, you know, where I get to spend time with my kids and my family. And it's an interesting question. Who am I when I'm not an artist? You know, I'm not creating. And for me, it's a hard one, because I don't think you can separate the person from the artist. So I know at the moment there's a lot of stuff going on here. People are feeling really down because they can't create, they can't do the art they necessarily want. But I've always felt that actually the person is the artist, and it's not something you can separate from yourself. So, you know, the only way you're suffering is because you're feeling stymied in being able to create. But we're creating all the time as human beings. You don't have to be an artist to create. You know, I mean, whether you're cooking, whether you're dancing, we do a lot of dancing. Not all of it's good, but you know, tunes are up, and we will funk out until we're sweating. You know, it's a great place to be. Kids as well create all the time. You know, the imaginations run wild. They're never living in the real world, as it were, or maybe they're living in the real world and we're not. You know, it's one of those things that they are creating all the time, and to be part of that is a privilege. So it's like I say, it's a difficult one, because I can't separate the me now to the me that's the artist. And it's only, I think, when you can bring the real yourself and your truth to your art, that your art sings. And we all know that craft is a wonderful thing, and practice. But if you're practicing being yourself, being true, you know, it goes a long way for your craft. So yeah, it's an interesting one, and I think it's quite a cool time at the moment, because it allows it allows me to actually center myself a lot and find out where I'm from, who I am, and where I want to go, if that makes sense.
That totally makes sense. And I totally agree with that sentiment of, as an artist, we are our own stories, and those stories come through and with us. So it definitely is. I think the question more or less welcomes people to reflect and reevaluate what being an artist, or you know, how we're currently reconnecting with our passions, I think, is what the question also just offers to people. I don't know if that makes sense.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, sorry to jump in, but you know, I'm doing stuff that I haven't done for so long because I've been pursuing acting work. But my first love is drawing and artwork and painting. And my daughter's she's 11, but she's an exceptional artist. And I'm spending time actually creating amazing artwork with her. My son's into music. I play the guitar, and he's learned to play the guitar while he's been in lockdown. He actually plays better than me now. So we're riffing on songs together. I've got the privilege of actually sitting down and designing and making lunch with these guys. So they're an extension of me. And to see that side of my artisticness coming through and having the ability to create what I actually enjoy doing other than acting, writing, telling stories to these guys, just all of this stuff, it's stuff that creates as a whole human being. Acting is just a very small part of who I am. I mean, it becomes because it's my moneymaker and it's my passion, the main part of me, but it is actually just a very, very smaller part of me. And to be focused on just that denies me everything else. And that this being in isolation has afforded me the time to look back and go, actually, you know what? There are elements of my creativity that I've been ignoring for so long. And now I've got this opportunity to explore them, get to know them again. There's bits of me that it's like walking down the street and seeing yourself or meeting versions of yourself that you've forgotten about, and then I hoard a lot, so I've got drawings, pictures, books, writing, stuff that I've created that have been kept away in shelves and hidden in boxes. And now I'm able to go back on that journey with the kids, with my wife, pull stuff out just on my own and go, wow, this is me when I was 19. I've forgotten about this guy, and look how far he's come. So it's I think it's a cool time. I mean, I'm blessed that I've got people around with me. I'm not stuck in isolation. I don't think they're so blessed that they've got me stuck with them. They'd probably prefer that I was in isolation. But it's a wonderful time to connect,
100%. Well, thank you so much for your time, for sharing your breathing space with me right now.
No problems. Thanks for coming.
No, it's my absolute pleasure. Everyone, that's Mel Odedra. I'm Marianne Infante, and this is Breathing Space.